I have been so impressed by how each character is fun in its own way in Marvel Rivals, and today that does not change. Because welcome to Loki, the god of mischief, the healing helper, and the ability to transform into any other character, which just adds so much secret sauce to your rounds. What's going on, everybody? It's GhostRobo. Welcome to Loki and his mystical missile, his regeneration domain, his doppelganger distribution system, his devious exchange, backstab, and deception. This dude is all about making illusions, creating a regeneration area so that any damage taken by allies converts into healing, and importantly, healing up your teammates so that they can maintain their longevity. I'm finding that, I really like Loki because his mystical missile here, it can be used as a heal or as a hurt, and you can just fire it. Aiming does not need to be as accurate, which, hey, I will take. Now, I've got two games for you here today. One where I'm kind of just learning the ropes as Loki, and the other where I really start to just take control of the battle. Now, I love his deception. That is his disappearing act, where he's able to go invisible and conjure an illusion to deceive enemies. It seems to be a really great way for Loki to get out of harm's way. I also love casting these doppelgangers, as they're able to, use some of Loki's abilities, but they ultimately just provide an alternate target for your enemies and attackers. It feels great to be supporting your teammates. Loki does a significant amount of heals, and then, like I said, if there is a big battle raging, just throw that mystical missile. Whether you thread the needle and hit an enemy, or whether you hit your teammates, you're doing something good. It's not like there's alternate modes of fire for Loki, so I'm kind of surprised by his 4-star difficulty. I guess because he is a bit of a, complicated character in the sense that his ultimate allows you to transform and shapeshift into another ally or enemy. That gives him some complexity. And I suppose his backstab would be a difficult move to pull off. You've got to get close enough and then backstab up. But other than that, I feel like Loki's pretty straightforward. And I don't know. I think Marvel Rivals has done a phenomenal job of making it so that almost every character is very approachable. Even the ones listed as supposedly 4-star difficulty. Like, is Loki really that much harder than the 1-star difficulty characters? I don't quite know. I'm going to rock his Hela here, and I love that you get their ultimate right away. That feels freaking great. I'm going to throw some crows and, turn everybody into french fries down below. There goes Rocket. Speaking of a 1-star hero, we are taking out as many as we can, then we pop back into Hela and return as Loki. Now, you can just utilize their moveset if you want, but I love getting to do their ultimate, and even though sometimes I end up being a character that I'm not super familiar with, I think it just adds a layer of fun to the battle where you get to be somebody else in addition to the character you pick. The queue times have been a little bit long lately, so to me that's a great perk of Loki, the fact that I can, play Hela for, what was that, like 7 seconds? Speaking of Hela, Loki does have a team up, and so when Hela lands a final hit in defeating an enemy, she can instantly resurrect Loki in the respawn phase. If Loki is alive, then a crow will fly to him and grant blue armor. So when Hela finishes off an enemy, Loki is going to get a boost if we are nearby, which is a pretty nice buff. Though I would say it's not necessarily one of the strongest buffs, one of the strongest team-up abilities. I think it's possibly a weaker one because the specifics are very, very specific. There, it actually worked, though, where Hela was able to resurrect me, and I just get burned by a major attack from Iron Man once again. Now, in the second round, I will be cutting out the deaths, but this is just a bit of this first round as we go to capture this first point, and then I wanted to zoom into some gameplay where I'm a little bit more proficient with Loki, and I felt like it was a more exciting match. But I really love Loki. I'm loving these characters that have the ability to heal and do damage, and I think, I'm starting to figure out that for me, straight up attack is not where I want to go. I like the ability to heal as well as to hurt, and I think Loki, while his hurt isn't that strong, I was able to get a surprising amount of kills with his God of Mischief ultimate, with that shapeshift ability to transform into, Star-Lord was a great one, Hela was a fun one, and you'll get to see some others. So this is now a separate round, a new match, as we are here trying to destroy the tapping device and make sure that we get this cart moving here, all right? So we got to get the cart moving. They are coming in quite aggressively, but we're starting to make the push. And I think Loki did an awesome job of supporting the heroes from behind while dealing some nice little extra bits of damage along the way. And that was just really satisfying to me. I also love that Loki's movement can be utilized with his devious exchange. That's going to be where he can switch place with the selected illusion. So you can utilize that to get up on roofs. You can utilize that just to change course if an enemy is really locked into you. You can utilize that to reach tough-to-reach areas. Loki isn't necessarily the best character to get up on the roof because he is such a softie. He is going to die very quickly, and his attack isn't that great. So getting him up to a rooftop, it might be neat for an escape or for some specific vantage point to distribute healing. But I don't think attacking with Loki from up above is going to be recommended at all. We're pinging, as you can see, for far less damage than some of the recent characters we've played as. So going from, Namor to Loki, it's like, wow, the Trident did massive damage. Loki's little mystical missile, not so much. But it's mostly about the healing. That's what you really want to be doing. And so I fire constantly, knowing that I am going to be helping out in some capacity, whether I hit an enemy or whether I hit an ally. And I think that just makes Loki pretty easy to play, in my opinion. I'm really impressed with the way all the characters move. It's something I wanted to mention today, was that even though not everybody has movement, right? I think the animations on the characters are so good, and maybe this is a product of using Unreal Engine 5 or just the art team over at Marvel Rivals and NetEase, but like the characters all move so naturally and with such passion, with such marvelness. I don't know how else to describe it, but I just love that. I decided to shapeshift into a Groot here, and I'll be honest, I never played Groot, so this was a bit of a mess. You'll get to see some other shapeshifting later that works out pretty darn well. I was impressed with how long Groot could last, but I didn't manage any KOs there. Those are coming a little bit later on. But I cast my doppelganger to try and provide an alternate target, and really, I think that's probably Loki's best ability. As much as his regeneration domain is nice to provide healing energy from damage, as much as his backstab is a more powerful attack, as much as his shapeshift is really fun, I think it is his doppelgangers that are very nice. His deception is also really good. Like, getting out of harm's way and staying invisible is really freaking cool, and you can cancel it, so it's not like, oh, you have to wait for the timer to run down. But the doppelgangers provide a lot of just alternate attack angles, alternate heal angles, and just another target, another option for your enemies to go after. And I've talked about this a lot. I think one of the greatest strengths to Marvel Rivals play is providing distraction, whether that is Rocket getting on the shoulders of Groot, whether that is Namor throwing out his different monster spawns, whether that is Loki creating his doppelgangers. There's a lot of opportunity options to create an extra target, and that just seems to be very, very, very difficult for the enemies to handle. You'll notice there we had a Star-Lord going crazy. I cast up the regeneration domain. I tried to heal the Groot, and we were able to punish. I also get a nice finishing blow from afar there as they move towards me. I'm going to heal up Spider-Man so we can go in and cause more chaos. Spider-Man, a quick character that's able to get in and deal quite a bit of damage. We are riding the goats to Valhalla here as we take everybody's talents and put them together. Scarlet Witch comes in. Scarlet Witch is quick and a difficult target for Loki, but we managed to get the KO there, kind of going crazy and quick, and this is where my gameplay starts to really amp up. We reach a checkpoint, and so we are ready to go. We've got the whole squad here. I'm casting a Loki in a different difficult location, so I'm firing from 2 angles, which is really, really great here. And I've actually got multiple 250 HP Lokis, as you can see on the bottom. If you ever want to know how many doppelgangers you've got out, how many illusions are actually active and working, you get their health meters on the bottom of your screen, which is pretty nice. We enter the 5-player KO as Luna Snow heals, and now I switch to apparently an aggressive role. I'm going to shapeshift into Star-Lord, which is nice, and we do have access to his ultimate, so we can put some pain here on Doctor Strange. We grab the KO kill. I get frozen a bit from Scarlet Witch's stun, and we're going to go into our ultimate to try and deal damage to oncoming attackers. This is a Star-Lord of their own that says goodbye. There's a rocket in the corner that I take out, and I'm on a 10-player KO streak with a healing character. Feels pretty cool, and this was a wonderfully exciting and awesome match as we push our wagon really, really close to the win. We've still got 4 minutes, and they don't have much ground to stand on. Their slice of the pie, very small, probably not even a single bite of cherry in their slice. But Loki is going to stay healing now to make sure that I remember my role. It was hard sometimes when I would get aggressive and have success to remember, like, I'm supposed to be a healer, but that's what you got to do. And so that's what I wanted to do, is provide the doppelganger alternates, not just for a way for me to get attacks in on Scarlet Witch, but to ensure that I'm supporting, I mean, I can heal my own Loki, which is pretty funny. But I'm healing Groot in particular, healing Star-Lord in particular, as they try to deal massive damage, and much more than I can do. I'm more useful utilizing my mystical missiles to heal, to support them, but I do manage to get quite a few KOs along the way, which made Loki so much fun and more exciting than I ever anticipated, and I'm glad that I switched over to a healing character, to Loki, and gave him a go. His shapeshift just, to me, adds a roulette element that I think is really dynamic, and then the ability to heal while capturing a few KOs, super cool. So make sure to let me know in the comments down below who you want to see next, what character you think I would like, or what character I should go to, or if you want me to double back around on Magneto, or Storm, or Namor, let me know, or even Loki, because this dude is a blast to play as. We're making the final push here, Iron Man up in the sky. I really wanted to be the one to take him down there. It's hard for me to hit these guys in the sky. They've got quite a bit going on. I'm going to transform into Star-Lord once more, but we capture it right as my ultimate seals the deal. I think it was the ultimate that did it. Gave the GOATs the extra motivation to move across the finish line. I'm not the MVP, although I was about to transform and shapeshift into the MVP, so I'm going to accept a little bit of the glory here. That is a team victory for Loki, and some awesome 10 KO healing action as we work to heal a bunch alongside Luna Snow and deal damage alongside the rest of our team. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Marvel Rivals is awesome, and I'm really not looking forward to the alpha ending. But we still have half the time left, so let's enjoy it. Drink some hot chocolate, and until next time, we will see you all later.